Post-match reaction to West Ham 0, Liverpool 5.
Oh my God.
One of the worst performances I've seen over it. Absolutely spineless. Listen, I could come up with all the adjectives I want, mate, but this is awful. This is the worst season I can remember since Avram Grant in terms of performances. There's nothing about us.
Yeah, it's one of those ones where I think we spoke about it earlier on. It's a season where we've got no hope, basically, when there's no optimism going into each game. Today is one of those ones where everyone pretty much writ it off, calling it a free hit, etc. What you want from these kind of games is to come away from it and taking something away, whether it's the players showing some heart, some character, maybe a few fringe players getting an opportunity for us to go away and think, oh, you know what, yeah, we can go into next week or other games where we're playing teams more on our level and expect to get something from it. But what we saw today is another steamrolling thing where you got an opposition just steamrolling through our midfield, which was just in bits and pieces. And don't get me wrong, Liverpool are quality. You know, they're not just the best side in our league. They're probably on form, statistically the best side in Europe. So I was expecting to hold 5, to be honest with you, Dan, if not more. But again, there was just a few bizarre decisions, you know, in terms of personnel, tactics, that kind of stuff for me.
Yeah, I mean, Lopetegui, he just changes it up all the time. He don't seem to know what he's
Changes it
doing.
all the time. We came into this today knowing that we was going to lose, didn't we?
Yeah.
We walked in there, it was the Southampton game, right? They couldn't finish to save their lives. And this team today are perfection, this team, Liverpool. And they shitted on us today. Absolutely ripped a hole in us. And it was absolutely disgraceful, the whole thing. And like you said, Loppy changing it up every 5 minutes. He doesn't know he doesn't know his team. Still does not know it.
19 games in? 19 games into the season?
How can you not know it? How can you not know a team right now? How can you not decide on where to play? I know, right, we've got a few injuries and that, but it's just ridiculous. Putting Bowen up front by himself there again. Oh.
Yeah, full Krug in, full Krug out.
In and out, shake it all about.
The thing is, like, with these type of results, you can say, you know, Dragons go, Liverpool just too good, right? It's just Liverpool. Yeah. But when you're seeing week in, week out, crap performance after crap performance after crap performance, you can't just sit there and say, like people said last week, Southampton's new manager bounce. Yeah. Arsenal were too good. Brian said that. Right, but we can say these things in isolation. But when you look at the context of the season and see this is just, we're just consistently crap and then showing no signs of improvement, you can't accept this. You can't sit there and take a 5-0 drubbing where your team's not showing any fight or any passion or just any semblance of pride and self-respect. It's just poor, like.
Yeah, no, it is poor. I don't necessarily agree with the pride side of things. There were a few things I saw today where I was happy in terms of like players having a go at each other. I was seeing, you know, players having a go at Mavropanos. I was seeing Soler getting mad with Paqueta, Bowen getting all of that stuff. If I didn't see that and I just saw heads down, then I would agree. Yeah,
but that's not translating into them actually
on
the ball performances.
But it goes down to instructions, don't it, Dan? I think one thing that we can say that is consistent with us is that we haven't. Our midfield has always been terrible. That has consistently been the situation throughout the start of the season, and the midfield is consistently, for me, the problem area.
Why have they given up?
It
was shocking. Absolutely shocking.
You know what it is, Jay? For me, it's not good enough. It's not good enough. I think what I don't want to start. I don't want us as a fan base to go into that realm of being deluded. We're not a good team. No. We're not a good team. We've got some good players. Yeah, but we're not a good team, and sometimes we get carried away thinking we're better than what we are. What we produce out there week in, week out, this season particularly, is our level, because we're not good enough. We've got someone that's someone that's not a decent coach who can't get a tune out of these players, and what we're putting out there it's just not good enough. It's a mid-table team.
I think the personnel we've got are much better than what we're seeing. And
what are you basing that on, Dan? What are you basing it
on? I'm basing it on, look, you've got players like Kudus, Paqueta, Bowen. Like, the problem is our best players from last season and seasons past have looked worse. Yeah, but Bowen's it. So, yeah, we're even in worse condition. Wan-Bissaka's looked bright this season. Emerson, we've seen what he can do. Kilman looked bright at the start of the season. Here's Somerville, right?
Again, it's good players. We're not a good
Yeah,
team.
but that comes down to a coach.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. The
Exactly.
actual players, I think we've got, and I've had rivals saying, they go, oh my God, like the players you've got, you should be better. It comes down to coaching. When you've got a coach, chop change every single week.
He doesn't know his team. He doesn't. He doesn't know. They're not listening to him as well. You can tell. They're punch ups here and there every 5 minutes.
Brian, you're the tactician genius, right? Tell me what our identity is. How do we play? What is our intent, right? Our philosophy. You knew it with Moyes, but you obviously maybe can see better than us. Explain it to us.
Took me 14 games to work out what this manager was trying to do, and that's terrible. If for anyone to try and work out, but one of the things what he consistently does, he plays with a 4-1-4-1 system. That's consistent. He did that today in the first half. 4-1-4-1, doubled up with the left backs, with Emerson playing in a more advanced position and Wan-Bissaka playing left back to hold Soler. The aim, what he's trying to do is play a mid-block, basically where the front four effectively can press the opposition's team when we're not in possession, and then to basically get high turnovers in a higher position on the pitch and then go from there. It hasn't worked because our team's incapable of playing a press. We've got players who are too slow. So when we try to do a press, we go in single numbers. You might have Bowen goes for the press and then the other three don't press. And then when they do go and press, we just get done right through. He's tried to play a thing at the first half of this season. He basically tried to play our fullbacks high and then go inverted, creating a three to support whoever's the anchor, whether it's Rodriguez or Alvarez. So Wan-Bissaka and Emerson didn't work, and what it left basically so much space in behind the fullback positions, particularly Wan-Bissaka. If you see him for the last 2 months, he scrapped that because it hasn't worked. So they're playing more as a back four. So when you're seeing a manager or a coach, in our case, chop and change, it's not good. It's not good. And a lot of our frailties this season, it has to come down to the coach. And yes, the players do need to take responsibility, but at the end of the day, the coach is the one that's trying to get a tune out of him, and it hasn't worked. It just hasn't worked.
Now, in the ground, and I don't necessarily agree with it, but you had a lot to say about Stuyton and the signings. You're not happy.
No, I'm not happy with. Listen, right. We've had some issues with these players.
Yeah.
Right?
So what signings are you not happy with then? What signings do you think that Stuyton's got wrong, or what? Talk to me.
Well, Rodriguez he's got wrong, hasn't he? Rodriguez is.
To be fair,
also,
that's
half of these players don't want to be here as well. Right. They don't want to be here. They're unhappy with it being here as well. All these, what's going on in that.
Well, yeah, obviously they're not going to want to be here playing like shit like this.
Yeah.
What? Yeah, well, yeah, but this is it. It's hard to say. We're still in a situation when we're going Sullivan signing, Lopetegui signing, Stuyton signing. There's too many cooks in the kitchen. It needs to be one man, and if that man is Stuyton, give him the job.
Not, isn't it? There's too many, like you said. There's too many people at the top there making the decisions here, and that. You've got Sullivan that put Loppy in. Stuyton didn't want him. They're just nitpicking and they're fighting each other, and it's showing on the field now. It's showing.
And now this is my worries going forward. We're going into a January transfer window where we're hearing we've got no money and we have to sell, and there's talks about selling Kudus if the offer comes in. If we do that, can any of us?
Do you want a player that wants to be here, that doesn't want to be here?
But
I know it sounds like he doesn't want to be here.
But you can't just sell one of your best players just because of, they don't want to be here. Get a coach that makes him maybe want to be here. But the problem is can anyone here have confidence that we sell Kudus, say for the 100 mil that Sullivan says, and we get this striker? Is everyone confident we get the striker that we need? Because the track record is absolutely shocking.
Yeah, I agree. I think Jay raises a good point with the starting. I think it's something that needs to be looked into further. I can't say hand on heart whether, if we look at the signings, the majority of the fan base were rejoicing when we pulled in a lot of those people. Where it hasn't worked out, so now we're kind of going around and pointing fingers. But what we can say is that there definitely doesn't seem to be any sort of cohesion between what Stighton's brought in and what Lopetegui's trying to do. If we look at players like Somerville, for example, a lot of us as fan base, we're calling for Sullivan, or even there's people calling for Guilherme, for example, right? Now, if we start with the latter, for me, if he ain't getting a look in with a manager that makes on average 5 substitutes per game, he obviously feels he's not good enough. Now, we can all say he would give him a game, give him a game, give him a game. We ain't got, unless we're watching training. I don't know what is being churned out, right?
Yeah.
And that's one. With players like Somerville, again, this is probably where it probably go against a Lopetegui style of play.
Yeah.
Now, one of the things that Lopetegui has said in terms of with Somerville and with Kudus as well is that their defensive duties are not great.
Yeah.
So they will let their opposition player running behind them when they've given away the ball in offensive positions. And that's probably why someone like Somerville is not getting more of a chance. I think he actually deserves a chance, but if you give him a chance, you would literally need to change the system so there's more protection behind to accommodate those kind of players. Do you know what I mean?
You made a good point as well when you said about getting rid of the manager. You said, if we get rid of the manager, who are you going to get in? That's the problem as well. Unless, like you said, we've got someone certain and that we feel that can work with Stighton and Sullivan and that.
But this is the thing is, as fans, I mean, it's like, because fans don't know who we're going to get in, it's like that's just a reason enough to keep a manager, because fans who aren't qualified, we're not qualified, I mean, Brian may be qualified.
Yeah, I think he should get the job.
But yeah, good try. But no, we're not qualified. You know, because we can't say this is the manager, we should keep the manager and not go out and find a manager. You're seeing, oh jeez. You know what I mean? Like you have managers that are out there. If you do your scouting and you prepare and you look at these managers in other leagues, you know what I mean? We're seeing that, but you just got.
We never do that, do we? We don't do any of that.
No, we just go for the lazy, easy point. Oh, Lopetegui, he was in the Prem. Yeah,
Whoever's free, innit?
yeah. Whoever's free. Oh, he's Prem proven.
He was in the Premier League last time. He looked good.
That's what it comes down to. I mean, is there anyone that springs to mind? Like, would you sack him and would you get someone else in now?
I would sack him.
Is there anyone else?
I want the Bournemouth manager. I think, but
Iraola.
it's been impossible, wouldn't it, for him?
Yeah, you've changed your tune on Southgate then.
I don't mind Southgate. I want Southgate. I think it'd be good for us.
The comments are going to eat you alive on that.
Listen, he's got to be. Listen, look what he done with that England team. What's the problem now? Is we're all fighting. They're all fighting, aren't they?
Yeah,
Punch-ups and everything. He'll get them all. What are you laughing for?
You know, like the thing is, okay, there was a togetherness in the England team, but I wouldn't get him just to gel us.
He will get
Unless
back
he's
up.
an interim,
He will
gel the team.
Give him a chance.
He would be. Wouldn't
you bring him in just for 6 months? Listen, we get rid of Loppy. There's no one else out there. Get Southgate.
If I had to pick any firefighter, no, I can't. I can't do it. It's embarrassing. Nah, I tried to talk my pride. I don't know about you, mate.
Nah, I tried Southgate. Sorry, Jay.
I tried to talk myself into it. I couldn't do it.
I think, look, so the thing is with Lopetegui, what he's done to us as a fan base, he's drained our hope. Yeah, and he's made going to games or watching games, however you view it, not enjoyable. And because of that, it's just made it even more worse. And it's kind of toxic. But I actually, the timing of getting rid of him is not quite right. We missed that window. I think that the Leicester, just before we had that international break, that was the right time to get rid of him. We're not better than 11 teams above us. But we're also better than 9 teams below us.
Now we go into January though. He can't have any say in who we bring in, and then it sounds bad, but he can't.
Agreed.
But that was the whole idea of bringing Stighton in, isn't it? He doesn't.
Yeah.
He's a head coach.
Well, he's supposed to be a head coach, but then he's
Why
picking.
Is he still getting...
But then, why is he getting players? You know what I mean? And this is it, and we end up with the rot. It's crap. Way to end the year. It's been a crap year for West Ham all round, really.
It's been a poor season. If you look at the league,
even the end of last season,
it's just other than Liverpool. The fact that we were only 6 points off.
Shut up! No, it's back. I knew it. Moyes back. He's a job. Moyes back.
Nah, let's forget this. We don't need to mention him because we make ourselves look silly as a fan base.
But the thing is, so many fans say it, like in comments, and so many rival fans go, "Oh, you should never sack Moyes." It's not. There's. Of course, there was a chance we'd get the appointment wrong. Just because we got the appointment wrong doesn't mean that we should have given Moyes the keys to the kingdom and kept him. It just means that we shouldn't have signed Lopetegui. And now what we have to do is be very careful and very clear in our next decision. Whether it is okay, we're going to keep Lopetegui until this point. Start scouting and get it right the next time.
Yeah.
That is what it's about. You
Yeah.
keep going, and that's all it is. So look. Hopefully 2025 is our year, because 2024 certainly wasn't. But yeah, thank you to Brian and Jace. And one thing left to say. Come on, you Irons.